Hello Year 10 and welcome to your very first healthy eating cook along where today we'll be cooking a spinach omelette. Alright, this is a really nice healthy meal that you can have for breakfast or maybe an early lunch. Really easy to make with really simple ingredients. Alright, so you've seen here now I've got all my ingredients laid out and ready to go. That's the best thing to do to get prepped. Alright, but the first thing we're going to do before we start is we're going to turn our oven onto the grill setting and put it anywhere between 180 to 200 degrees to preheat the grill. Alright, so as you can see here, I've got my eggs, I've got my spinach which was washed as well, so I'll give it a quick rinse under the tap. I've got my butter, I've got my salt and pepper, and I've got my cooking oil. Okay, I'm using olive oil today, but you can use coconut oil, avocado oil, anything that you've got at home will do. Okay, in terms of my utensils, I've got a bowl for whisking my eggs, I've got a fork for whisking my eggs, and over here I've got my spatula and my frying pan, and that's all that we're going to need for today. Alright, so first thing we're going to do, guys, we're going to take our bowl. Alright, we're going to crack our 3 eggs in. Alright, so that's the first one in. Small bit of pepper. Alright, and then you give it a mix. Alright, so you're going to whisk your eggs thoroughly until they're all broken down into a nice liquid. Alright. Okay, fantastic. So I'm just going to leave this over here. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to turn on the heat for your frying pan. You're going to put that to a low medium heat. Alright, first thing you're going to do, once your pan is on, you're going to put in a teaspoon of olive oil. Alright, so camera, if you want to come over here. Alright, so we put in our teaspoon of olive oil. You're just going to coat the pan first and foremost. Alright. Now, the reason why we're doing that, because we'll be adding butter, alright? And you put the oil in first so that the butter does not melt, alright? So you allow that to heat up, alright? Then we're going to add in our butter. Alright, and just move the butter around the pan. Make sure that it's on a low heat so the butter doesn't burn. So that is the base that's ready. First thing we're going to put in is our spinach. So a nice generous handful of spinach, guys. In we go. Alright, that might look like a lot of spinach, but anyone that's cooked some spinach before knows that spinach shrivels up to almost nothing. Alright, at this point, if you've got any other ingredients, you can put them in. So you've got some red onions, some tomatoes. Someone mentioned to me on Teams that they're going to put banana. If you want to try that, you can by all means. Okay, but if you've got any ingredients to put in to your omelette, right now is the time to do it, okay? So we can cook them all off, alright? So, you're going to let that kind of cook for 3 or 4 minutes. Add in a pinch of salt for flavor. Alright, and you're going to just move those around, guys, until it looks almost withered and wilted, alright? Alright, now when it's almost at that point where they're nice and withered and wilted looking, okay, you're going to add the other half of your knob of butter and just move it around. Alright, allow that to melt down. Fantastic. Looking great already. Alright, so after you've done that, you're going to take your eggs that you've whisked already. Alright. Into the pan. There you go. Alright. Pour it in slowly and make sure that's coated around. Alright. If you want, you can just spread your spinach evenly around. Alright. You don't want all your spinach over to one side. Just use the spatula to do that so it's nice and evenly distributed throughout the omelette. Alright, now you can turn the heat up a tiny little bit at this point, guys, And you'll see now that around the edges is where it's starting to cook. All right, so what you want to do with your spatula is just kind of move it away from the edges so that it doesn't stick. All right, so your omelette at this point will be cooking underneath. Okay, and you're just using the tip of your spatula to kind of move it around and make sure that it doesn't slide off and it doesn't get stuck to the side of your pan. All right, just touch it slightly and you will see a little bit of movement. So you'll see there, it's kind of just moving as I touch it, and that just ensures that it doesn't get stuck to the sides. All right, so heat back down to low. All right, so this is looking really good already, guys. At this point, what I sometimes like to do, if you've got a little bit of low-fat cheese, is to add that in there at this point too. It makes it really, really tasty. All right, so after 2 or 3 minutes, guys, and you can see that it's kind of crisping around the edge, and when you touch it with your spatula, it moves. All right, it's at this point that you're going to put it under the grill into your oven. Now, other ways to cook omelets is that you can flip it over on itself and cook it, but as we're just learning, this is a much easier way to cook your first omelet. All right, so it seems to be cooked underneath. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just place it into the oven. All right, and as you can see, it's kind of liquidy on top right now, so you're going to place it into the grill, okay, and leave it right under the grill for about 4 to 5 minutes until the top of it goes almost dry. Okay guys, so it's been about 4 to 5 minutes leaving the omelette under the grill. So when I take it out, you know that it's done when you kind of move it like that and there's no kind of liquid on top. All right, so it kind of looks nice and dry. All right, so I'm going to bring it over to my plate. What you're going to want to do, again, just use your spatula to move from the edges. Okay, if you want to put it just slightly underneath. And onto your plate. And I like to have mine with a nice slice of whole grain toast and some orange juice. All right, so guys, that is your spinach omelette. Hope you enjoy making it. Remember, make sure you clean up your dishes afterwards and take a picture of the meal that you've created and upload it to your team's page or as advised by your teacher. Okay, happy cooking, guys.